Hello and welcome to this 11th episode of Justpauses. Somewhere while growing up, all of us realize gradually that there are and there will be all kinds of people around us. Some of us understand sooner than others, and some of us accept people better than others. Some are casual with all the varieties they meet, and some are choosy and particular. The latter find it a strain to be happy and easygoing in the company of all the varieties. Actually, technology has narrowed distances, and hence our exposure to the number and kinds of people is a lot more than our parents or grandparents had. Some whom we meet are sweet and selfless, some amaze us with their chivalry and thoughtfulness. A few have a heart that beats quite well for others too. And then there are some who are insensitive, some obsessed with self interest, some mock at others cruelly, some suffer from envy burns, some secretly feel good when others suffer, some are stingy in mind and deed, and well, a few others are outright shallow. However, as in every other matter, herein too, the only sensible recourse is a pause, followed by acceptance. A pause to make us stop before reacting foolishly, hurriedly. A pause to remind us that every one of us is a mixed bag no matter what. There is never just one side to anyone. And as soon as a pause comes into action, acceptance follows quietly. We have to live with people as they are. Not much sense in spoiling our health and disturbing the state of mind by ceaseless fretting. A few moments at searching for or recollecting the qualities of the other and in reviving the happier moments and memories can make it all a little less difficult. I recall an experience when I had inferred hastily only to regret later. One of our professors in senior college was not very regular when it came to engaging classes. She remained absent most of the time, and even when she used to come to the classroom, she sounded dull and disinterested. We were an enthusiastic bunch of young learners, but also impatient. We found her to be very mediocre and developed a kind of dislike for her. We made fun of her in the classroom and even played pranks many a times. Once I wrote a small column in a newspaper somewhere that why and how anybody was allowed to become a teacher just on the basis of some paper qualifications, though such teachers ruined the interest of thousands of students in a particular subject. After completing my post graduation, I got a job in the very college where I had been a student. I found myself seated in the staff room amongst my own teachers. While it felt good to be amongst familiar faces, it was also awkward to sit face to face with that one teacher whom we had troubled much and even propagated against. She apparently had no clue that I was one of the pranksters, or that I had even written against her in a newspaper without naming her, of course. She was so happy to see that one of her students had joined the college as a lecturer that she went out of her way to make me feel comfortable. She was still irregular in coming to college, but whenever she was there, she would smile at me lovingly and ask me if I was doing well. Some 4 or 5 of us, including her, used to have breakfast together in the staff room. When she came to know that I loved the sweets and savories which she made, she began getting extra helpings for me. Within a few months, I found myself liking her immensely and warming in her company. One day, I overheard a few teachers talking about that teacher in her absence. I was stunned to hear that she had cancer and that how it had spread to all parts of her body and how she was struggling to survive in the last stage. I asked a few other teachers about what I had heard, only to know that she was battling cancer for 7 years. I came to know that she had a daughter as young as 12 years old and that she was very much worried about her. I felt dizzy with shame as I recalled those days when we had smirked at her discomfiture in the classroom. She was probably undergoing chemo or radiation sessions during those times, and her mouth would have been all bitter and body reeling under the harsh treatment. And we had made fun of her, imitated her, and even instigated students against tolerating incompetent teachers. I came to know from batches senior to ours that she had once been a very bright and enthusiastic teacher who deeply cared for her subject and her students. I did what I could to make up for what I had shamelessly done earlier. In whichever way I could, I tried to ease her load, wrote cheerful notes for her when she stopped coming to college altogether, and visited her at her residence as and when I could. She succumbed to the illness soon thereafter. I learned from that experience that the conduct of a person tells us only a bit of the whole story. What a person thinks, does in other situations with other people, what his or her past is, and what bruises are hurting inside are other subplots, and when they reveal themselves, even the most adept storytellers can find their heads spinning in disbelief. Whether a person is gregarious or is incompetent, or just stern or selfish, that one dimension of the person is not the one and the final story. Thank you.